before we get into the brand, but I always wanted to start at the beginning. So let's take it a little bit back. Let's take it back to like your early curiosity and like obsession and like your design, you know, before we started the brand. What got you here?
Back in the school days.
Back in the school days. What were you interested in? What was the first kind of like little kind of moments that you started to think about something like this?
Okay. I would say probably in school, I was always creative. I was good at art. So I done art GCSEs and BTEC. Then I done also media studies. And I would say even from young, I've always been that creative kind of person. And I think I got it from my mum because she's very creative. She used to do art as well. So probably just from that, really. And yeah, and I've always been into clothes, but obviously when you're younger, you don't really have the money for those type of clothes that you want, but you're still like, you try different things, you're experimenting, and you're like, okay, this is cool, this is like that. And yeah, I would just wear loads of like, just random cool clothes that I think is nice. And yeah, I think it just, naturally it just progressed into that, really. I think just from a young age.
Did you grow up in Essex?
I did, yeah. Southend-on-Sea, Essex, yeah.
What was that like? How did that influence your creativity? Was there a lot of opportunities there? Or?
I feel, although it's at the moment it's getting better, but it's not that many opportunities, I would say, because it's so different to London. It's just like, I don't know, people just kind of, they look at you a certain way, or like it's very different to how people perceive creativity or those types of things. Because like if I was to walk down the road and like wear something a bit edgy or a bit different, they'd look at you like you're a weirdo. But like around here, like it's normal.
Yeah, if you were normal and around here was like, why
exactly.
you not trying?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man. Essex, it's a nice place to live. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, just like that sort of fashion stuff is, I don't think there's much going on. There's not like that big brands or like that I know of that are from Essex or that have come from that sort of thing.
Then was that hard then when you were growing up to find inspiration for your own brand? Like when obviously you've been interested in creativity and design.
Yeah. When
you were like, okay, cool, I kind of want to do something else. What was the inspiration out there? What inspired you to start your own thing?
I think I looked at a lot of, just say like streetwear brands from London or from other areas. That I would say. But what would you say? What did I look at that?
You mentioned streetwear. What kind of streetwear?
I know it's very cliche, but like Cortez and
course.
Like that kind of like Supreme, Stussy, those types of brands, like the staple kind of the brands that everyone knows for like streetwear, and they're like limited, like the limited access to things, the creativity behind their designs. And like the whole thing around it, but it's like once it sells out, you can't get it. It's not like a thing where you can just go.
It's not H&M. You can't just go buy more.
Yeah, you can't just go JD and buy it like next month. Like once it's like you have to be there and do actual activity-based stuff.
Was streetwear like a big part of your early teenage? Like, you know, because I had a few friends like that too who were like had it all dripped out, but also always like found a way to go and get the stuff, make sure they were there at the kind of like this.
Well, I don't know. Like when I was younger, I was interested into it, but I wasn't like actively out there doing all these things to like, oh, I need this, I need that. I was just like, oh yeah, it's cool, but then I was just focused on other stuff, really. I just wasn't like paying too much attention. But I always knew like I had that sort of thing in mind.
And I'm trying to think, because the reason I'm asking these questions, I'm trying to establish what led you to this path? Because there's always people that, yes, you could have been a creative, but you could have just not started the brand. You know, there's always people that have that inside them. Oh, I like drawing, but I chose to go a different path. I'm trying to understand why, even though you like drawing, why did you choose to go this path? You obviously, I'm understanding there's clothing involved and a design. When did you start meshing the two? When did you start going, actually, let me put my own designs on clothing and let me try to take it as a business? What was that process like?
So I think it started from when I was just kind of like bouncing from like job to job, really. And then I never kind of wanted to work in a normal job. I always just thought it was like, oh, like why am I here? Or just being told what to do all the time. I just hated it, and I'm just very impatient. So I just didn't really like people telling me what to do, or just like they can't do something a different way. They have to do it their way. Like I'd always question things and be like, oh, why are you doing that? Or like, why is this? Or why is that? Like, but then like you just get told to just follow the rules and shut up, basically. So yeah, I started working at a screen printers in Southend. The guy's name's Tim. His business is random generator printing. So I started doing like an internship, and initially I thought, because it's like a creative kind of job, I thought, yeah, we'll try it, we'll see how it goes, it might be cool. So I started working there, learning how to screen print with his company, helping him with his designs and his stuff that he's got. And then eventually I think it probably got to a point where I started making my own designs. And I started, because I'm always thinking of things, I'm always like, oh, okay, yeah, let's try this, let's try that. And then while I was there, he said to me, oh, you can, if you want, what we can do is you can do your designs and I'll help you out with doing it, but you have to print your own stuff and you'll learn. So while I was printing for his thing, I was learning how to do it myself. Then I started printing my own designs, doing my own stuff, and then that's just gradually how it started, really. And then, yeah, I think that was like the birth of it, really. Yeah, it was just that push of doing something different. It's a change in like your environment. I think there's a lot, because you need to have like a reset where you do something that's like completely different from what you'd previously thought, or your way of thinking, or life, or just hold perspective on what you can and can't do. I think that helped a lot, because before then I didn't really do much in any sort of like business or that kind of thing. So
you're saying you need a kind of a role which allows you to rethink your own capabilities.
100%. Yeah, you need like a complete change and perspective on what you're doing. Because if you're constantly, say you're doing the same job like year after year after year after year, and then nothing's changing, you're not doing anything different, you're literally just go there, clock out, like you're not really challenging yourself or doing anything. You don't have an outsider's look at anything. You just know what's there and that's it. But for you constantly changing things, you're always like,
you're figuring stuff out. Yeah.
People, and you learn new things, a new way of
doing things.
Yeah.
You learn so much about yourself.
It just opens up your brain to new possibilities and new things.
100%. I remember my first job. So by the time I started that, I was already doing the podcast, and I remember telling myself, I need to learn more about admin. Because I knew like a lot of the podcasts was, I can do the front facing stuff. The admin part.
You can sit on a camera.
I can sit on a camera, I can speak, put it back. But like everything else behind that, I had no idea how to email people, how to like keep
all the boring stuff.
All the boring stuff. So I got a job in that, and that job taught me how to do that at a high level with like big companies.
Oh, wow.
And just by doing that job,
you learned like the pace of like the importance of
like always like 24 hours reply, like checking in, you know, like making sure you've got a calendar so you know what's coming up, all of these
Organization.
Organization, absolutely. So that would lay the groundwork for kind of like being able to launch it, because I was like, okay, cool. Then if I can do this, you know, it will help me do that. And I think that a lot of times people, you know, if they're in a job they don't like, they're just completely like, I don't want to, I just, you know, and they get dejected. But as actually, you can use skills in that job to kind of feed into your creative thing, because most jobs, all they do is for kind of like prop up creativity, you know?
Yeah.
You know, no matter what kind of field they're in, kind of what they're doing is helping other people get to creative stuff. So if you're in that position, you can just use that skills to do that. What kind of skills did you learn early on? Basically, the question I'm asking. What kind of skills did you learn early on that helped you when you started your business later on?